Are we live? I think we're live. Okay. Have a look and make sure that this is actually working. This is my first official stream on YouTube. Get hype. Okay, I can't actually see the stream, so I don't know what the hell is going on. So let's have a quick look. This is my summary of the Apple event, by the way, just in case you're tuning in. God, what the hell? It doesn't say I'm live. Ah, okay, we are live. Perfect. I don't know what the hell. And is it in 4K? Yes, it is. Amazing. Okay, perfect. We're live. Welcome to the stream, everyone. I don't know how many people are here. I'm not expecting anyone, let's be completely honest. But what I will do is talk about today's Apple event, which finished a couple of hours ago. Now, ignore the hair. Ignore the hair. We have no time for hair today. One thing that I will say is that I was going to live stream the Apple event, but then I didn't, because I realized that live streaming the Apple event while the event was live is illegal and can result in a copyright strike on your channel. So I was setting everything up to live stream the Apple event, and then I didn't. And then I was going to make a video about the Apple event, and then I decided to just go live anyways. Yeah, and here we are. So welcome to the stream. We are live. Now, I don't know how well this is going to sound or how well this is going to look, because this is my first live stream on YouTube, but I digress. Let's just get on with it. So Apple had an event today. Today's September the 9th, and the event was called Apple Glowtime event. Oh, and by the way, I'm sick, so excuse me if I have like a coughing fit or something, but I'm getting over it. Okay, so Apple had an event today called the Glowtime event. Let me just second. Is there anyone here? I don't know if there's a... Oh, hello. Tessa said hello. That's my wife, by the way. I don't get alerts for comments or anything yet, because I haven't finished setting up the stream. So everything you see on the stream right now, like the mixed view here or the full screen view there, everything is subject to change. Let's just see how this goes, because yeah, kind of terrifying. I'm just sending the link out to everyone just so people know that I'm live streaming, because why not? Might as well just jump in at the deep end, huh? Okay, so wait, I'll send it there as well, and let's post it on Instagram. Why not? Let's do this, and then story. Why don't we just make it live? Okay. Hi, I'm live on YouTube right now. It's my first YouTube live stream. I'm not on Twitch anymore, and I'm talking about today's Apple Glowtime event, about the iPhone 16, 16 Pro, 16 Pro Max, and the Apple Watch, and whatever else they spoke about today. Join me live now on YouTube, like right now. I'll put a link on the screen. YouTube right now. First YouTube live stream. I'm not anymore. About today's Apple. And let's just put a link on there. I need a URL. There it is. Oh my God, that didn't work. Why does continuity on iOS fail sometimes? So normally you're meant to have like a global, like, clipboard, so when you copy something on Mac you can paste it on your iPhone, but sometimes it just doesn't work, which is so annoying. All right, so let's get the link from here. Go back to Instagram, paste, live now, click me. Okay, you can also follow me on Instagram. I'm at thisbrowngeek. Share. Okay, that's gone out on Instagram. Hooray. Perfect. Okay, so today's Apple event. Today's Apple event was called Glowtime. Today is the 9th of September, and Apple announced a few things. It was a little bit underwhelming, but at the same time, I am kind of excited about a couple of things. So first things first, you can see my notes. I always take notes during all of these Apple events and some other events. My notes are always the most comprehensive, and they are always published before anyone else, as far as I know. And I type these live during the event because I'm a bit sad like that. So we have some stuff to get through today. Let's zoom in on this so you can see if you're watching on a phone or something. It's working. Oh, thank you. Okay, so if you're watching on a phone or something, you can see my notes on your screen right now. And the first thing that Tim Cook came and announced was the Apple Watch Series 10. Now, it is a bit of an iterative update to the Series 9, but if you're upgrading from something like, I don't know, like the Series 7 or Series 6 or anything before that, I think it's a worthy upgrade. It is the largest screen they've ever had on an Apple Watch, and it's also the slimmest Apple Watch ever. I think it's at like 9.7 millimeters. It's probably here on my notes, actually. It's also got a new sort of, or a new type of OLED display, which they're calling a wide angle OLED display. So it's 40% brighter when viewed at certain angles, which is good. Oh, and now the OLED display, which is always on like the older OLED display, but this OLED display updates once per second, whereas the old one would update once every minute. So, well, that's just 60 times better, isn't it? Okay, I'm used to editing my ums and ahs out of my videos, but seeing as this is live, I can't edit anything out. Also, how does the mic sound? This is my whole new mic setup with the Focusrite 2i2 that I've been teasing on Instagram, and this is the Shure SM57 with the AW2 something popper stopper, and this new mic arm, and it's a whole new thing. I used to use the DJI Mic too, but I thought this would be more professional for live streams and possibly podcasts. So if you're interested in watching something like that, be sure to subscribe. Anyways, back to the Apple Watch Series 10. There's a new color, which is the jet black aluminium finish. It's glossy and it's reflective, and it looks really cool. Actually, I can show you that over here. There it is. See? I think that looks great. Let's get rid of that. Let's go back here. Okay, it's 40% brighter. It's got this new color. It's also got a warm rose gold and a silver aluminium. Like I said, it's 9.7 millimeters thin, which is 10% thinner than the Series 9, which is, I think that's quite a feat of engineering. I mean, the thing is so small, they're adding more features to it, retaining the battery life, and just making the whole thing thinner. It's pretty amazing. The speaker system, to make the watch 10% thinner than the Series 9, had to be reduced in size 2, so they made that 30% smaller. Oh, and you can actually play music and podcasts through it now, which you couldn't before, which is really cool. Again, they've got 50 meters water resistance, and a larger, more efficient charging coil, so you can charge to 80% within 30 minutes, which is a really good bump in charging speed. It's 10% lighter if you buy the aluminium one, and it's 20% lighter if you buy the polished titanium one. It comes in natural, gold, and dark slate grey. I can show you those colors over here somewhere. Oh, that's how thin it is compared to the Series 7, 8, or 9. So Series 10 is on your right. It's a pretty big difference. There's the jet black color. And here are the titanium polished colors, which I think it looks great. So you got natural, gold, and slate. And there's all three of them there. I think it looks really good. Again, if you've got Series 9 or something, I probably wouldn't bother updating or upgrading. But if you're coming from something older than a Series 7, I think it might be worth it. I've got a Series 7, which I love. I don't think I'll upgrade though. If I was gonna upgrade, it would be for an Apple Watch Ultra. The Ultra 2 is still the best Ultra that you can get. They didn't update it. I was expecting an Ultra 3 in today's event, but that just didn't come. Okay, so watchOS 11, new machine learning, blah, blah, blah. There's a bunch of new iterative upgrades like the S10 SIP. You've got wrist tracking. Oh, there was a big emphasis on, hey, Christian, how's it going? Sorry, I'm not getting comments pop up on the screen yet because I've just finished setting this up. So everything that you're seeing on screen is going to change. But nice to see you here, Christian. If you haven't subscribed to Christian, he's another tech YouTuber. You should check him out. The guy makes really good videos, honestly. The guy is great. And he's a good friend. So thanks for checking in, Christian. Where was I? Okay, a lot of the Apple Watch updates today were focused around the water for some reason. So they mentioned snorkeling, diving, rowing, all sorts of stuff. Things that you can use for your Apple Watch. Well, things that you can do whilst using your Apple Watch. A lot of it centered around that. But one new health feature that's coming to the Apple Watch is the sleep apnea feature for, well, Apple Health. So right now, the watch can tell if you have AFib with your heart. It can tell if you've fallen over. It can tell if you've been in a crash. It can monitor your ambient noise to see if it's going to damage your hearing. There's so many things that your Apple Watch can do right now. Oh, and take your body temperature and all that stuff. But now it can take water temperature. It's got a depth sensor. So if you go diving, you can measure the depth. And it will now also check for sleep apnea. So while you're sleeping, the accelerometer will measure your breathing disturbances while you're sleeping with the accelerometer. And it will give you like a report on whether or not you have sleep apnea. And then you can export that as a PDF. It will also be added to your Apple Health data, and you can discuss that with your doctor. So you don't have any further complications and end up dying in your sleep or something. So that's always a good thing. Also, 80% of people with it are undiagnosed. So once this comes out, doctors are going to be annoyed because lots of people are going to be saying, hey, I've got sleep apnea and I didn't know. I need a drink. Oh man, my throat is rough. Anyways, moving right along. Oh, also, this is coming to the Series 9 and the Watch Ultra 2 as well. So it's not just exclusive to the Series 10. The Series 10 starts at $399, which is also £399 here in the UK because we get screwed here in the UK because they have it like, they have $1 to £1 here in the UK, which just doesn't, yeah, anyways. So £399 here in the UK, $399 in the US. You can pre-order it today and it will launch on September 20th. Moving on to some minor updates with the Apple Watch Ultra 2. They went on and on about features that we already know it has. I don't know why they did that, just wasting people's time. One update coming to watchOS 11, which I think is cool, is one of my friends just texted me saying he's live, lol. Do you just find it funny how some people say lol now instead of actually laughing? I've been doing that for a while. It's kind of weird. Anyways, watchOS 11 has a pretty cool new feature called offline maps. So if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you have no phone service or anything, you can download the map ahead of time and then use that even for GPS and stuff. So you can download offline maps on watchOS 7. Like I said, there was a lot of emphasis of things that you can do in the water. And there is a new color coming to the Apple Watch Ultra 2 called Satin Black, which is a deep dark finish. And a new band for that matches the black color and also a silver one. The Apple Watch Ultra 2 starts at $799 or £799 here in the UK. You can pre-order today and it launches on September 20th. And I can also show you the Apple Watch Ultra 2. I thought I had it open. Do I not have it open? Watch Ultra 2. Okay, there it is. I think it looks really good in black. It looks so cool. The only thing is, if you were to scrape this on a wall or something, would it be silver underneath this? Or because that will really show up. Maybe that would be a good reason to get the silver one. But I really like the way it looks in black. I think that looks great. Anyways, next up, we're done with the Apple Watches. So let's move on to the new AirPods. So they announced a few new things with AirPods. So the standard AirPods got a big update. So we're on AirPods version 4 now. So AirPods 4. There are two versions of these. There's the AirPods 4 standard and there's AirPods 4 with active noise cancellation. So there's two SKUs now, which is similar to what they did with the AirPod Pro 2s. You had AirPod Pros 2 standard with Lightning, and then you had AirPods Pro 2 with USB-C, which is this, which is what I have, which is great. Anyways, we'll get to that. So there's new AirPod Pro 4s. They have a new H2 chip. They've changed the shape of them by analyzing thousands of ears to make the most comfortable AirPods ever. They're the best sounding ever for AirPods, standard AirPods. You can get spatial audio on them now. You can get an active noise cancellation version, which wasn't available before on standard AirPods. It has voice isolation, 4 sensors in the stems, a USB-C case, which is the smallest case they've ever had for AirPods, but they still have a 30-hour battery life. They have a transparency mode, adaptive audio, which is what I use on the AirPod Pros too, because adaptive audio is good because when the ambient sound around you becomes more noisy, then these will filter out more of it automatically. Adaptive sound is just great. Whereas if you're on a plane or something, then you're probably just better off using the active noise cancellation because you know it's going to be noisy anyways. Conversation awareness. So if you're listening to music and you start talking to someone, it will automatically lower the volume so you can hear yourself speaking. But yeah, the case also has wireless charging now and a speaker built in for Find My, so you can make them play a sound if you're looking for them and they're lost. The packaging uses 30% less plastic and stuff, so it's better for the environment. This came up a lot during this event. They start at $129 for the standard AirPod version 4s, or $179 for the active noise cancellation versions. It's the same price in pounds, by the way. You can pre-order today, and those also launch on September 20th. It's going to be a busy day for Apple on September 20th. Jeez. Also, you can have a look at these here. So these are the new AirPods. AirPods version 4. There you go. I think they look good. They look a lot more... I like how the stems are shorter now. The stems used to be huge. I think the stems became short in version 3. But yeah, I think they look great. Moving right along then. There was an update to the AirPods Max, but not the update that you were hoping for. So everybody for years now has wanted the AirPods Max to be updated because, let's be honest, they're not worth the price. For what you're getting, they're just not worth it. So everybody predicted a big update for the AirPods Max today. And that update just didn't come, which is disappointing. The only update they got was they have USB-C charging now, and they have 5 new colors. So they have midnight, blue, purple, orange, and starlight. My coaster just fell down. And you can pre-order these new colors today, launching on September 20th for $549 or £499 here in the UK. As you can see, there is no update. I don't think anyone can believe that. And to be honest, there's just no point talking about it. Don't buy these. They will be updated at some point. There is so much better you can do for this price for over-ear headphones. I wouldn't recommend these. I just wouldn't. AirPods Pro 2, again, there is no update to the design or anything like that. But there is a cool update regarding hearing loss. God, I need to get well. Anyways, there is an update regarding hearing loss. And they announced 3 new health features for your hearing today. So one of them is passive noise reduction. So when you're in a noisy environment, they will actively make that sound less loud. So it will damage your hearing less. You can also have a hearing test now with your AirPods, which is clinically validated. So it will test your hearing and then give you a report that you can pass over to your doctor or whoever, which is really cool. So it gives you a hearing profile, and then it will also use that same hearing profile to change the way your AirPods produce audio for your specific ears. So it will cater the sound that you're hearing for your hearing profile, which is great, I think. And there's also one more feature which I think is a no-brainer, which is the AirPods Pro hearing aid. So after you do the hearing test with the AirPods Pro 2s, your AirPods Pro 2s can become a hearing aid. And again, this hearing aid is clinical grade, which is, why haven't they done this in like the last 5 years? It just sounds so obvious now that they've done it. The hearing profile also adjusts everything to listen to your blah, 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 specific hearing. Oh, I forgot to send this out in one more place. Oh, that's not good. Oops. Forgot to send, lol. Okay. Okay, so this feature is coming to over 100 countries. It's coming to the AirPod Pro 2s, and it's coming with iOS 18, I think. Again, there is no update to the design of the AirPod Pro 2s with USB-C, so these AirPod Pro 2s with USB-C are still relevant. So I don't have to go and upgrade them. Okay, so moving right along, we need to talk about the iPhone 16. And there is a lot to talk about here. I have looked at comments online right now where people are talking about how it's more of an iterative upgrade, like it's more like a 15S. I don't really agree with that because there are pretty big updates here. If it was just like a slightly better processor and GPU or system on chip or whatever, then I would agree with you. But this isn't that. There is a bit more to it than just that. So firstly, talking about the iPhone 16, we have 5 new colors that I think lots of people are going to go crazy for. I'll bring those up on the screen right now, just a sec. So these are the colors that we're talking about. So I think lots of people are going to go crazy for these colors, especially the pink one, because there are so many people online that review tech that have wanted a pink iPhone, and not like a soft pastel pink, but like a deep sort of pink. So I think this is going to sell just because of its color. This blue is also great. These two are going to sell like crazy, and I predict that they're going to be sold out. Also, spoiler alert, there's a new button down here, but we'll get into that. It's called the camera control. Yeah, so I think that's pretty cool. Anyways, moving back over to this. Right, so the iPhone 16 has 5 new colors: ultramarine, teal, pink, white, and black. The ceramic shield on the front of it is now 50% tougher than the first version of ceramic shield, and is twice as tough as glass on any other smartphone. That's what I think I heard them say, because that's what I wrote down. It goes up to 2000 nits for the screen brightness, and it goes all the way down to 1 nit. The sizes are staying the same. You got 6.1 inch for the standard 16 and 6.7 inches for the 16 Plus. They have an action button, just like the 15 Pro and Pro Max. But they also have a new camera control button slider thing. That's exactly how I wrote it. Now the camera control button, it's like a haptic touch button type thing, which is just here. Just here on the side of the phone, under the power button. And you can tap that to bring up your camera app. But you can like half tap it, you can double tap it. and you can slide your finger across it to go through different options, which I think is really cool. They did mention Apple Intelligence and how these phones have more memory to store larger AI models. The processor has gone from an A16 directly to an A18, and they've skipped the A17 altogether. It has a 16-core neural engine, which is optimized for large AI models and is twice as fast for machine learning. 17% more memory bandwidth is using the new second generation 3nm process. 6-core CPU, 2 performance cores, 4 efficiency cores, 30% faster CPU than the iPhone 15, more energy efficient, 30% less power draw. Everything is basically what you'd expect. It has Wi-Fi 7 and it has USB-C now. Well, I think the 15 had USB-C. But the thing is, one thing about the iPhone 15, it was because it was using the A16 processor. The A16 processor wasn't equipped for USB 3.0 speeds or Thunderbolt or anything like that. It was just USB 2. And that's why the iPhone 15 standard had USB 2 over USB-C. This is now USB-C on an A18 processor, but it still has USB 2 speeds at 480 megabits per second, which is crazy. It makes no sense. There's no excuse for that. That just sucks. That really sucks. Craig Federighi came on screen after this and talked about Apple Intelligence. So they have multiple generative models, private cloud compute, which they spoke about in their last conference at WWDC, where if something can't be handled with the AI on your own hardware, on your phone, then it will go off to a cloud called private cloud compute, where Apple can't even see what you're doing, but it will process it on your own private cloud and then bring the results back to you. And because of that private cloud compute, you have access to much larger AI models. The data is never stored by Apple and it's never shared with Apple, and the privacy can be verified by third-party experts. So keep an eye out for that, I suppose. The electricity that they use for the data centers is 100% renewable. There's this big thing about pushing for being carbon neutral in 2030, and they seem to be going like balls to the wall to hit that target. And they have already hit it in most of their areas of their supply chain and everything. Of course, the Apple Intelligence AI thing comes into its own when you're writing things. It can change the way you write, make it more professional, make it more casual. It can proofread what you write and everything. It's really cool. And you can even create your own emojis and your own original images with Image Playground. This is stuff that we've already seen at WWDC earlier this year. They talked about updates to the Photos app, summarising your inbox, Siri understanding natural language. There's a bunch of things. Now my Siri's triggered because I said Siri. Anyways, there's an Apple Intelligence beta coming next month. It's in US English only, and there'll be localized English coming in December of this year, and then other languages next year. They also showcased this thing called visual intelligence, where you can take a picture of something, or you can, I don't know, put your camera over a block of text and then send it to ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT will summarize it. There's a lot that you can do with Apple Intelligence, and I think we're only just scratching the surface right now. This is going to be huge, as you can imagine. And you can also do that thing on the camera app where you highlight things to make them disappear. So if you're taking a picture of you and your wife or something and there's some dude in the background, you can just remove him from the image. One thing that I think is quite funny is you can already do this on like a Google Pixel, right? But now that it's coming to the iPhone, this is going to be everywhere. And the thing that I find quite amusing is we're going to see pictures on social media now where the person that you're following on social media is the only person in the image, and there's never going to be anyone around them. So we're just going to be inundated with pictures of empty cities and towns Like, obviously you could do this before in Photoshop or whatever, but now that it's in the palm of your hand, I think it's going to be hilarious. There's just going to be people posting pictures of empty towns and cities, and it's just going to look like the world is barren. Anyways, moving on to that camera control button that we talked about. So it's a sapphire crystal that's flush against the camera's body. So it's not an actual button, but it does have like haptic feedback, and you can tap it and it brings up like your camera app. I think there's a little video of it somewhere here. All right, here it is. See, so you tap it and then you can like slide on it to do different things. It's really cool. And it brings in this like little notch type thing when your phone's in landscape. See, it's really cool. And you can see more of what it does here. So click and hold to start recording a video. You can click it to launch the camera app and click it again to take a photo. You can light press it to open controls. And with a double light press, you can select another camera setting, then slide to adjust that setting. Oh, who's this? Are the AirPod Max worth buying? The new version that will be coming out? No. I spoke about the AirPod Maxes earlier on in the stream, and no, they're definitely not worth it. It's literally 5 different colors and USB-C. They haven't updated anything else. So Sobek Waheru, hopefully I'm saying your name right. Don't buy them. I would wait. Or you can buy the over-ear headphones by Bose, and Sony makes some good ones like the XM5s or something. I would totally avoid these unless you're really desperate for overhead or over-ear Apple AirPods. You could also try out the AirPod Pro 2s. That's what I use. And they're brilliant. If you're using something for the studio, then these Beyerdynamics are great. These are the 770. Hold on. These are the DT770 Pros. And I used them here in the studio and I love them. But you do need to have like an audio interface that's powerful enough to drive them. Eo, I can't read your name, but hi. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so let's continue. When M4, when Moon, Lambo. When is the? You know what? Let's just have a look. Let's go to. Hold on. MacBook M4 when. It says 2024. So M4 MacBook should be this year, apparently, according to leaks. But we don't know for sure yet, so sorry about that. Okay, so back to the camera control. Oh, wait a sec. I forgot to talk about the iPhone 16 cameras. Where is it? Okay, so the iPhone 16 has a 48 megapixel sensor now on its main camera. You can shoot in fine detail, which is 48 megapixels. You can shoot at high detail, which is 24 megapixels, or you can use the center of that sensor for a 12 megapixel 2x crop. But it's not really a crop; it's still native. So you'll get a good 12 megapixel 2x telephoto image out of that one sensor. So you get 3 different qualities. Well, 48 megapixels, 24, and then a 12 megapixel 2x telephoto. And then the other camera is now a macro lens and a wide angle lens. I think macro is new to the standard iPhones. I don't think it was there on the iPhone 15. Also, the ultra wide now has 2.6 times more light. So it has a lower f-stop. So you can take much better pictures in the dark, because that is normally the issue with the ultra wide lens. So you have macro for macro photography, obviously, with the ultra wide. Oh, by the way, the ultra wide is also 48 megapixels as far as I can see. So you have macro, 0.5 ultra wide, 1x, that's the 48 megapixel and the 24 megapixel, and then the 2x, which is the 12 megapixel. So you have 2 physical lenses, 2 physical sensors, but 4 different, like, what's the word? 4 different lenses. Okay, good. There's no new comments. You can also shoot spatial video now with the standard iPhone, which is what we all predicted. So the cameras are now above and below each other. So when you turn the phone sideways, as you can see, so the cameras are like this now. So when you turn the phone sideways, these camera modules are side by side. So you can shoot spatial video. You can also shoot spatial video now and spatial audio. I don't know if spatial audio is coming to the iPhone 16 though. It's definitely coming to the Pro and Pro Max. The iPhone 16 can shoot spatial video and spatial photos, but they didn't mention spatial audio on the standard iPhone 16. Okay, so the A18 has better thermals. It has ray tracing now, hardware accelerated ray tracing. And you can play AAA games on it now, like Death Stranding and Resident Evil. And they also announced a new AAA game called Honor Kings of World by Tencent. Oh, and the iPhone 16 now has a bigger battery. iOS 18, they had some news about that. So emergency SOS now allows you to send a video feed or videos or images to emergency services when you're using the feature. You can also now message via satellite in more places. So it was in the US and Canada, but now satellite is now in the UK as well. And so is roadside assistance. So in the US, you could call for roadside assistance using emergency SOS, and it would give them your exact location and everything. And you can do that in the UK as well now, which is great because that's where I am. Also, for the iPhone 16 standard models, they didn't talk about the screen at all. So just assume it's the same screen as the iPhone 15 standard. The iPhone 16, the normal size starts at $799 or £799 here in the UK, and $899 or £899 for the Plus in the UK. And they start at 128 gigabytes, which is crazy. We're in 2024 now. What the hell are you doing? And you can spec them all the way up to 512 gigabytes, which is definitely what I'd be going for, or at least the 256. Don't buy the 128. Just don't. Now, finally, last but not least, we are on the iPhone 16 Pro models. So that's the Pro and the Pro Max. And we have 3 new colors. Is it 3 new colors? I think it's 3 new colors. Oh no, it's actually 1 real new color, isn't it? You got black, white, natural, and desert titanium. The leaks on this were also true. And the colors look great, to be honest. So here's the 16 Pro and Pro Max. Now these also have that new camera control button. And you can take a look at the phone here. Oh, and they've got new screen sizes as well now. So the iPhone 16 Pro standard has gone from a 6.1 inch to a 6.3 inch. And the Pro Max has now gone from a 6.7 inch to a 6.9 inch. I just got a text saying James Earl Jones died. Damn, that's not good. Rest in peace, James Earl Jones, if that's true. I am your father. Anyways, here's the 16 Pro Max, and this is the new color. This is called Desert. What's it called? Desert Titanium. So I currently have the 15 Pro Max in natural titanium, which is the same as this. So if I upgrade, I'll be going for this, which is the new color. So kind of compulsory to get the new color. They also have a black titanium, kind of boring. And they have a white, which is like a silver with a white back. Again, I would go for one of these two. Natural, if people didn't get the 15 already, they might go for this. But I think everyone is going to go for Desert Titanium because that's like new. I need to mute my watch. People don't shut up. Excuse me, can you? Okay, done. Okay, so like I said, 2 new screen sizes. The 6.9-inch Pro Max is the largest display ever for an iPhone. They have the thinnest borders for any Apple product. Again, ProMotion display, always on, ceramic shield, grade 5 titanium. The band is now textured aluminium, which is different from the one that we already have. And they have a new machined chassis for better thermals and a graphite clad aluminium substructure. I need to edit that. It has a 20% it's a 20% improvement in thermals for sustained performance before your CPU starts throttling. Now that's definitely an issue with my iPhone 15 Pro Max, where if I'm doing something, even if I'm using the camera app to film a video for a lengthy period of time, this thing gets red hot. It gets really hot. Yeah, and that's obviously something that they've seen on their end, because if that wasn't a problem with the 15 Pro Max, they wouldn't be fixing it in the 16 Pro Max or the 16 Pro. They both also have larger batteries. The Pro Max has the best battery life for an iPhone ever. And of course, they both have Apple Intelligence. They both have the camera control button. And Siri can do a whole bunch of things for you, as usual. Not as usual, but just like the iPhone 16. One thing that they said during the event was you can ask Siri to bring up an image and then apply your color settings to it and stuff in Lightroom. And I'm sure I heard them say that. But the thing is, their live stream, there was no rerun for it on YouTube or their website. There might be now. But it said that you can use Apple Intelligence to do things with Lightroom. And I'm sure I heard it. That's why I wrote it down. But I don't know. How does that work? Of course, the new iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max have the new A18 Pro processor. Again, built on a 2nd generation 3nm process. The fastest smartphone chips in the world, as usual, every year. And they're the first smartphone chips in the world to use these new tiny transistors. They both have a 16-core neural network, a 17% increase in memory bandwidth. I'm not going to get into the details. There's a lot. USB 3 is faster, Wi-Fi 7. The iPhone 16 is also Wi-Fi 7. Are you upgrading? Yes, because I'm stupid. So probably. Hello Gboxer, how's it going? Also, there was a transition between the people talking, and when I first saw it, I was convinced that they showed a folding screen. It probably wasn't. It's just me getting excited for no reason. But I thought they showed a folding screen, but I don't think it was. Again, it has a 48 megapixel fusion camera. Everything is faster. The image signaling processor is faster. Everything is faster. You also have a 12 megapixel 5x telephoto now, which is on the standard Pro and the Pro Max, not just on the Pro Max. So you've got a 5x zoom on both. Then they talked about something called a 2-stage shutter, which is coming later this year. So you can capture images faster. So I think that will reduce like rolling shutter. Are they talking about something that's similar to a global shutter on the new DSLRs? It'll be interesting to test that and find out what the hell they're talking about, because that's what it sounds like. Another big update for video is that you can now shoot in 4K 120 frames per second in standard video mode and slow motion mode. And you can also shoot in 120 frames per second and then drop it to whatever you want. So you can drop it to like 60, 30, 24 for different levels of slow motion. And on top of that, when you're shooting in 4K 120 FPS, you can record in Dolby Vision and log, which is insane. Both phones also have 4 studio quality microphones, and you can capture spatial audio along with spatial video and spatial images. And they show this really cool thing where if you're recording in spatial audio, you can switch it to do these funky things. Like you can make it so it sounds like a movie. So the people in frame are on the front channels and then everything else is on the other channels. And you can also make it sound like you can isolate speech from background noises and things like that, and you can adjust the levels and everything. The voice memos app is also getting an update where you can layer tracks on top of each other. So this is great for musicians. So if you record like a guitar track, you can then play it back on your phone and then sing some vocals over the top of it, and then it will remove the sound of the guitar and just record your vocals and then layer it on top, but they're still separate. So that's really cool. So if you're a musician and you like to, I don't know, like jot down ideas on your notes app or voice memos app, you can now do that in a much better way and actually compose music in voice memos, which is really cool. They then showed off a video for the weekend, which was shot entirely on the 16 Pro, and it showcases all of the slow-mo features with the 4K 120. And honestly, it looked good. It looked great. Like even the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max and Apple ProRAW, it looks insane. ProRes. It honestly, you can't beat Apple iPhones for video. Like people are getting close. Like the pixels are amazing, but nothing gets to the level that iPhones are at when it comes to video. Photos, yes, I mean they go toe to toe and they trade. But for video, iPhones have always just won. Both have Qi 2 wireless charging, both have Wi-Fi 7, and they both start at $999 or £999 here in the UK. The least you can get is 256 gigs. The most you can get is 1 terabyte, I think. Let's go to view pricing and have a look. Okay. Yeah, so 256 gigs all the way up to 1 terabyte. A terabyte costs £1,599, and 256 gigs is $11.99 for the Pro Max. You can pre-order this Friday and they go on sale on September 20th, like everything else. So September 20th is going to be crazy. And then we went back to Tim Cook. He summarized and ended the event. There was no one more thing, like the good old days with Steve Jobs. May he rest in peace. Yeah, so anyways, if you want to look at these notes, I type up these notes for every event. These are on my X profile. There is already a link in the video description, so you can go and see them there, and have a read at your leisure. So what else can we talk about here while we're here? We have, oh, I saved these. You can probably look at these. These are pretty cool. So down here on the bottom right, it's a 48 megapixel fusion camera with 2x telephoto. And these are some of the features for the camera system in the iPhone 16. Reduce wind noise. You can clean things up so you can remove people from your images and make it look like you live somewhere where nobody else exists. And the camera control button. Then you got the iPhone 16. I love that Apple has these little summaries at the end of like every section of the event. Yeah, this kind of sums up what you have. Dynamic Island on the iPhone 16. These new 5 colors, the pink and the blue, are going to be huge. USB-C, again at USB 2.0 speeds. They don't say that on here, but that's what it is, which is terrible. But anyways, if you are into buying the standard iPhones, at least you're not getting an older processor. You're getting an A18. Even though it's not the A18 Pro, you're still getting an A18. And I think that the upgrades here are really good. This is the camera system on the Pro and Pro Max. Well, that's the main camera there, 48 megapixels. And here's the little graphic that they have for the Pro and Pro Max. So on the bottom right, as you can see, it's the best iPhone battery life on the Pro Max. So it's the best iPhone battery ever. You have a 48 megapixel ultra wide, spatial photos and videos. 6.3 inch screen for the standard Pro, 6.9 for the Pro Max, Wi-Fi 7 and ProMotion 4K 120 FPS, Dolby Vision. It's got, I mean, the Pro and Pro Max are actually insane, like they really are. And there's your starting prices for each one, going all the way back to the iPhone SE, iPhone 14, 15, 16 and the Pro, but it doesn't mention the Pro Max there or the 16 Plus. Here's the colors. There's the Pro. And I think that's about it. I think that covers everything that happened in today's event. Apple Watch Series 7, like I said. No, Apple Watch Series 10, like I said. If you've got anything like a 7 or older, it's probably worth upgrading. If not, you should get the Ultra 2. But the Ultra 2 is due an update now as well, so maybe wait for the Ultra 3 if you're going that way. AirPods 4 look great. It's a really good update to the standard AirPods. I think it's solid. You can also get standard AirPods now with active noise cancellation for a little bit more money. It's like $50 more. If you are going to get the AirPod 4s and you want active noise cancellation, instead of spending $179 there, you're probably better off getting the AirPod Pro 2s at that point, because they'll have much better quality audio, and you get more features like the hearing test and hearing aid and a bunch of other things. Plus, the active noise cancellation on the Pros will be better than the standard 4s. AirPods Max, I don't know what the hell Apple is doing. They need to update them immediately. This is just embarrassing. AirPod Pro 2s are what I'd buy and what I have got with a USB-C case, and they're amazing. I can vouch for them. Apple AirPod Pro 2s are crazy good. iPhone 16, like I said, I think it's good for people that buy the standard iPhones. It doesn't feel like you're losing out on too much this time. And they look like solid upgrades, especially if you're coming from like a 13 or a 12 or something. The new camera control button looks interesting. Will I use it? Yes. It'll be interesting to see how well it works. It does look cool, and when Apple introduces something like this, they normally do a good job of it. And finally, we have the Pro models, so the Pro and Pro Max. I like that the screen is bigger now. It gives me another reason to upgrade and waste some more money, which is just what we shouldn't be doing. But hey ho, that's what Apple fans do because we're all stupid. So yeah, 16 Pro and Pro Max. Not worth it if you're coming from a 15 Pro or Pro Max. I'm still probably going to do it anyways. If you have a 14 Pro or something, I would probably update or upgrade, because you're probably at that stage in your upgrade cycle anyways. It's been 2 years, so you may as well do it. And I think that's a really good upgrade anyways. And finally, we've got iOS 18 and Apple Intelligence to look forward to, which is coming out in beta next month. And then you'll have proper English versions in December, not US English. And that's about it. And I think that's it for this stream. I think I rambled on for long enough. If you are still here watching, thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Like and comment. Well, there's no point commenting now because I'm going. But this will be available as a video on demand, like a normal video, once the stream ends. So you can watch it from the beginning if you really want to. Anyways, you've been watching This Brown Geek. Like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Oh, and next time I stream, everything will be like really fancy, okay? I didn't have time. I've just set this up. Like I said, I was going to live stream. Thank you, Tessa. Like I said, I was going to live stream the actual event when it was live, but it turns out you're not allowed to do that. It's against the law, and Apple will issue copyright strikes to your YouTube channel. And as you know, if you have a YouTube channel and you get 3 strikes, your channel gets deleted. So I don't want to risk that. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. You've been watching This Brand Geek. Like the video if you liked it and subscribe if you haven't already. Bye. Oh, and follow me on X and Instagram and stuff. Okay, bye.